Can you believe how a skinny kid from the Jersey Shore would one day sing for billions, tell his stories to normal, ordinary people, and become a cinematic subject? Bruce Springsteen's story begins in 1949 in Long Branch, New Jersey, but his true hometown was Freehold, where his childhood unfolded in the shadows and sunlight of a middle class family. His father, Douglas, worked as a bus driver, and his mother, Adele, as a legal secretary. He was raised in a Catholic household with two younger sisters, carrying both the weight of his dreams and of growing from a working class, middle class family. Young Bruce was drawn to music early in his life. Elvis, Chuck Berry, and the Beatles were the ones who would light his imagination in the world of rock and roll. At age 7, he rented a guitar and set about teaching himself the language of music. Teenage Bruce was restless. He would skip high school graduation, preferring the uncertain pulse of the road, the energy of teenage bands, and the thrill of small stages. Bruce would travel from town to town in New Jersey and start to establish himself as a musician and a singer. He would be seen by many as a potential superstar, but he would have a long way to go. In the late 1960s and early 70s, he joined Steel Mill and others, tallying up lessons in performance, audience, and loyalty. His name became a whisper in local clubs, with many realizing he had such potential. Then came his big break. In 1972, talent scout John Hammond heard him and signed him to a record with Columbia. Bruce assembled a band, the nucleus of what would become the E Street Band, and in 1973 he would deliver the first two albums, Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey, and The Wild, The Innocent, and The E Street Shuffle. Critics noticed the poetry, the characters, and the fusion of rock, soul, folk, and R&B. But commercially, he was under the radar. He had a unique sound that really didn't resonate with the modern idea of what rock and roll was becoming. Bruce was driven by wanting to become a successful musician. He toured relentlessly. He wrestled with his self doubt, but in 1975, Born to Run would change everything. It was an ambitious, sweeping record with a cinematic voice and an urgent feeling. It moved him into the public eye. Stadiums would call him, and he would deliver. His concerts became legendary affairs, 3, 4, 5 hour marathons, full force of rock, heartache, hope, sweat, and sincerity. One thing, whether or not you like Bruce Springsteen's music, is the fact that he put on a show. He put on more than a concert, and throughout the 1970s and 80s, Bruce became synonymous with a concert worth going to. It was worth the musical numbers. It was worth seeing Bruce. It was worth seeing the band. Every single penny. Success, however, brought its own pressure. Legal battles and personal doubts would slow him. In 1978, Darkness on the Edge of Town emerged, leaner, tougher, and haunted by conflict. In 1980, he unveiled The River, a double album with grace and grit that landed him his first number one hit. In 1982, he offered Nebraska an extraordinary turn, 8 raw songs recorded at home on a 4-track tape machine, somber and very acoustic. Then came in 1984 one of his other big albums and big hits, Born in the USA. 7 top 10 hits, stadium domination, and cultural spotlight would come from this. Bruce became an icon once again. He was never settled. He wanted fame. In 1987, he released The Tunnel of Love, and he would tour behind the Berlin Wall, playing to a divided city in 1988. By 1989, though, the E Street Band would be separated, and Bruce Springsteen would move out west. Bruce would have some success in his solo career, but he would join back with the E Street Band in 1999, and in 2002 he hit back with The Rising, an album shaped by grief after 9/11. Over the 2000s, he would release more music, more iconic songs, and more renditions of his iconic music. He would tour, he would bring the E Street Band along with him, And he would even have the opportunity to play Barack Obama's inauguration. He would also be on the halftime stage during the Super Bowl, and he received the Kennedy Center honors. He was an icon, and the E Street Band was even bigger. But in 2011, his saxophonist, Clarence Clemens, would pass away, causing Bruce great grief and pain within the E Street Band. However, Bruce would tour again. He would go out and he would expand the name of the E Street Band even further to a new, younger audience. On tour in 2023 to 2025, Bruce and the E Street Band brought in nearly $730 million across 130 shows, one of the most successful tours of all time. Even though there was health problems and issues, he still toured. And a new chapter now unfolds in 2025 with his own biopic movie coming to theaters. Bruce Springsteen has solidified himself as an icon in the world of music and pop culture. There's no doubt he's going to continue, and I'm sure we'll see him on the big stage very soon, once again, touring after this new movie comes out. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legend and his iconic band have become synonymous with fun, music, and iconic dance numbers. But most importantly, the thing that has always made Bruce Springsteen stand out has been his incredible storytelling. Let us know in the comments below if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan. We'd love to hear from all of you. Thank you so much for watching Believable Truths.